We're wrapping up our reflections on Hosea today, minor prophet who marries a prostitute, and we are just seeing how this speaks to our situation and our relationship with God. Today I want to focus on God's love for us. So it's scandalous, it's embarrassing, it's relentless. He comes across not just here, but God often comes across a little bit like, the groupie who is being treated poorly by the band, but, hangs out because, just continues to hang out because the groupie is relentless and wants to be accepted. God comes across that way a little bit. I have a friend, and he was, when we were in grad school, he was dating a girl, and she dropped him. And heartbreak and all of that. And then, like a year later, she sort of comes back and wants to revisit the relationship. And I'll just cut to fast forward. They get back together, 30 years and 3 kids later and all that stuff. It's all good. But his dad said to him, look, she dropped you once. Shame on her. If she drops you a second time, shame on you. Like, you know what you're getting in for. And there's a lot where you're reading through this and you think, that would be the way this should unfold. Hosea needs to just move away from Gomer and count his losses. But that is not what is being illustrated here. And by the way, it's not just here. The idea that God loves us with this reckless, relentless, humiliating, in one sense, love also gets shown in the parable of the Prodigal Son, where the father, who is treated horribly by the younger son, the father runs to accept his son, right? And it's Jewish men in that era did not run; it was unseemly. But this father runs towards him, and that's the look. I will go 100% the distance to meeting you. And so the first thing we see is how poorly we treat God because of how poorly Gomer treats Hosea. And by the way, Hosea, if you read the book, Hosea is not happy about any of this. Like, he's furious when God says, you have to keep loving her. You have to give money to this man that she's sleeping with so that maybe he'll treat her better. Hosea's like, are you kidding me? I have standards. I have pride. I have to have some self-respect. And God says, no, you are modeling my love for people. And so this love has to be relentless. So, look, I want to end our reflection on Hosea by commenting on something that I occasionally hear from people, and they say, look, I just don't believe God can love me. I believe God can love you. I believe God can love other people. I don't believe God can love me. You don't know what I've done. And I'm really pretty quick to say, forgive me. I don't know what you've done, and I'm not interested in knowing what you've done. But you just are not that big or that important to be able to, overwhelm God with your badness. That's just not the way this works. So there's a lot of different ways this illustration works. When it says, the distance between the earth and the sun is 92 million miles. So if 92 million miles is represented as the thickness of a single sheet of paper, the distance between the sun and the next closest star is a stack of paper 70 feet high. So if every width of a piece of paper is 92 million miles, it takes 70 feet of paper to just go the distance between our sun and the next closest sun. And then you've got, that's just the closest. Then you go to the distance of the galaxies, and you see that, it would take a stack of paper 310 miles high to represent the distance from one end of the galaxy to the other end. And then ours is a small galaxy, and by the way, there's there's 100 billion galaxies, and in the last 5 years, they think maybe we've massively underestimated how many galaxies there are. So all that to say, God speaks the universe into existence. God is greater than what he has created. So give me a break when you think the God with that power is somehow crippled by your sin and says, oh yeah, that overwhelms me. No. That's not at all what we see. God's goodness and love is absolutely overwhelming, and the illustration in the book of Hosea is profound to show us how we treat God, but also how relentless God's love for us is. Be encouraged. Have a good day.